Wrote a few lines I'd like to share. Just because. Just because someone didn't put pictures of their loved ones does not mean they love them any less. Just because someone is surrounded by people all the time does not necessarily mean they're blessed. Just because some friends are not social does not mean they are expendable. Just because some are always hanging around does not make them dependable. Just because. Just because some are in minority does not make their thinking wrong. Just because some are in minority does not make their thinking wrong. Just because some are in power does not make them strong. Just because they are women does not make them vulnerable. Just because they are men does not make them unbreakable. Just because. Just because someone is alone does not mean their life is all that crappy. Just because someone has a lover does not mean they're always happy. Just because you're with someone for ages does not give your relationship layers. Just because you're with someone for ages does not give your relationship layers. Just because you just met someone doesn't mean they cannot be in your prayers. Just because. Just because someone couldn't make it, just because someone couldn't make it doesn't mean they didn't try enough. Just because someone achieved it doesn't mean they didn't go through the rough. Just because someone said so, just because someone said so does not mean it has to be. Just because it was never spoken doesn't mean it will never be. Just because. Just because it's turned night does not mean everyone will be able to sleep. And just because your world has gotten dark does not mean one day it won't be at your feet. Just because. Just because.